This is Vasily Kandinsky's Improvisation 28. This is, I would say, is our real first abstract piece, that we're studying. There is no subject matter. It is just, just what the artist created as he was painting. So there's no subject. So when you look at content, we kind of have to look at different things for what we say there's content for. So a little bit about Vasily Kandinsky. He was a Russian person who began his career as a law professor, which is so interesting that then he switched to becoming an artist in 1896. He left Russia to study painting in Germany, and he was highly influenced by the Impressionist piece, even though he wasn't going to, he was going to be mostly known for his non-objective artworks. So this refers to abstract or non-representational art in which your artwork does not depict a person, place, or thing. It makes the colors, the shapes, the brushstrokes, the size, scale more important. And he was one of the things that really inspired Kandinsky was the music at the time, the music that was happening in around 1910. And the reason why is because, like Edvard Munch, we think he had synesthesia, which I explained when I was talking about Munch. It's where he can experience two senses as at the same time. I know that sounds odd, but it's like when he was painting, he could hear the notes, or when he was listening to music, he saw colors. And so this is his way of he loved music. He was a devoted follower of Schoenberg, who was very famous at the time. And so as he was hearing this music, then he's painting what he hears. But for him, it's not what he hears, it's what he sees. So it's a really interesting thing, this condition that people have. It's called synesthesia. S-Y, I'm guessing how to spell it, but it's like Synethesa. And another reason why we do know that music is so important to him, it has to do with how he titled his pieces. If you're into music or classical music, there's either improvisation or there's compositions. So this one is where it's just like he's hearing random music coming out and he's painting what he hears, whereas a composition is a piece that's carefully composed, like Beethoven's Fifth Symphony versus like jazz music that kind of just moves along with it. Okay, so let's see what else. He's going to make color, shapes, brushstrokes, size, and scale more important. Since antiquity, Western music had been based on the arrangement of notes on a scale chosen by a composer, usually for expressive reasons. Each note in any scale had a role to play, and these roles operated in a clear hierarchy that served to reinforce this tonal center, like a kind of home base in musical composition. But like I said, he was influenced by Schoenberg, and Schoenberg, he eliminated that tonal center and created all tones equally, which made his music more expressive. And so Kandinsky wondered if by doing that to painting, you could eliminate subject matter. So he's also heavily inspired by Whistler, that he was in the realism chapter. And Kandinsky personally thought that the expressive values in color and thought, we think in color sometimes, could have evoked certain psychological effects. And so that's one of the things that's part of it. He aspired to make paintings that respond to his own inner emotional state, and they don't need to make representations or referencing to the visible world. He viewed the previous art's focus on this accurate rendering of the physical world as a misguided materialistic quest, and he hoped his paintings would lead humanity toward a deeper awareness of spirituality in the inner world. And yes, sometimes artists have the feeling that they are superior, like this one. So this one is going to be very influential on future abstract paintings. And, he also had a couple versions of this one. There is one in the Guggenheim Museum in New York for Improvisation 28. Then you could see on the left, there's a few others. We've got 13. This one's composition 7. This one's composition 8. This one is actually much more like famous. This one for me was interesting because it's Small Worlds 3. So this one is definitely not necessarily one that has to do with music, but it's still completely abstract. So Kandinsky is our first abstract piece, and will play an important role in future art.